Hello YouTube, and welcome to my second instalment of my anxiety vlogs. Really greatly appreciate you spending the time to listen to me today. This is the second one. The first one, the introduction, is still available here if you want to spend some time listening to that. It'll give you a little bit of understanding of what I intend to do over the next coming weeks and months. Today I want to talk about self-confidence. I also will give you a little bit of an introduction, a little bit more about what's happened to me over the last 3 years, and also just explain what I'm trying to do. My name's Chris, and I'm trying to help other people with anxiety. 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, I was a victim of an armed robbery. It's one of the worst experiences of my life, but I also consider it a gift because it gave me the opportunity to look myself in the mirror and think, do you know what? I'm not doing well enough and I need to change. So now I want to make sure I help other people. It started with this, it's my YouTube channel. Also, I'm going to release a book in regards to anxiety, which I'll be talking about in the next coming weeks, and I'll be explaining what the cover is going to be like, and etc, etc. But this is more about my book. It's more about trying to help other people realise that if I can do it, a 41-year-old technophobe, then you guys can do it too. Yeah, and I want to build my self-confidence, which is what we're going to be talking about today. How did I build my self-confidence after the armed robbery? Well, what I did was I had to leave my job. I couldn't stay there, and what I did then, I found myself another job. What did I do after the armed robbery? Well, I found myself another job. There's no way I could stay in that job, experiencing what I did. So what I did was I got back to work. I had to for my family's sake. Then I faked it. I faked being okay. I faked it to my friends, I faked it to my family. I faked it. Nobody knew what I was going through. I was a mess, but I didn't want to show anybody else how I felt. Getting up in the morning was still real difficult for me. So what I did was start listening to YouTube, inspiring YouTube videos about making a difference to other people, and you can make a difference and you are important. Then I started listening to music. So for me, it was Marvel and DC music. I really liked Dark Knight, the Guardian one, which is superb, but there's several others. Superman as well, Man of Steel is a really good music to listen to really get me inspired and get me ready for the morning. Once I started doing that, that was just a temporary condition for me, just to build myself. I started celebrating successes, small successes, feeling more confident around people because I just wanted to shy away from everyone. I didn't want anybody to know how I was feeling, which is quite difficult when you're a deputy manager of a store. Then I started setting myself some goals. For me, I want to face my fears. I have 4 mantras that I say to myself every single day. They'll be listed down here and you'll see what they are a little bit later on. I also have them put up in my office at work so that every single day I go into work, it's there. So it reminds me every single day. And also it helps other people when they're sitting in my office. My biggest goal was I will face my fear. Now for me, is being open and honest about how I'm feeling. It's about being open to ridicule and also to be on stuff, doing stuff like this and talking to people. I don't enjoy it. I don't feel I'm strong enough at the moment. However, I know that with my will, which I have an iron will, I will improve and I will become a lot stronger at doing stuff like this. And that in turn will build my self-confidence. I used to celebrate every single small success that I do, and you need to do the same. So it's a case of just getting out of bed for 2 minutes. That's fantastic. You should be celebrating that. If it means just talking to people for 2 minutes, again, that's fantastic. You should be celebrating that. Everybody has different individual struggles that they have to deal with, and it's done in different ways. You have to celebrate what you can do. Now, I'm really lucky. I still suffer from anxiety and have done for over 30 years. So I'm quite an expert at everything that goes on. Although for me, my anxiety is completely different to other people. But you will be able to improve yourself by going and following what I'm going to be talking to you about. If I can do it, then so can you. I started recording my gratitude journals and recording how I felt with people, and that I was able to ever so often just review how I was getting on, and it gave me great heart to see the improvement that I was making. This gave me every single day little footsteps. I'm not expecting you to build your self-confidence just like this. Doesn't happen whatsoever. However, just slowly building your self-confidence will help you. It's described, and it's brilliant described, I love this explanation, of having sunshine inside. And that's what I would love to see you guys do, because if you can build your self-confidence, that will give you the great start that you need to take on and break anxiety like I have. Next time, I'll be talking about my gratitude journal, and I'll be discussing things that I've put in my gratitude journal from a little while back to help you improve yourself. It's not something that will take hours and hours and hours on end. Every night, 5 minutes, just spend time writing 3 or 4 answers down on a piece of paper and recording them, and then putting them somewhere safe so that you can review them when you feel you're feeling low, because it will really help you. Hopefully you really enjoyed this, and this will give you some instance of what I'm trying to do with building self-confidence. But self-confidence is a start. This is my start, and this is what I will say to you. By achieving goals, by setting yourself goals, by having a gratitude journal, will improve things over the long term as well, and give you hope for the future that you can drive yourself out of this. I did it by fingernail every single day, and I still struggle. You can too. You can break it, and I am going to break it too. I have hope for the future, and so could you. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me today. Next week, hopefully it'll be on Friday rather than the Saturday that I release these YouTube video, and it'll be talking about gratitude. Thank you. Goodbye.